Hello, you Awakening Wonders. Thanks for joining us today for Stay Free with Russell Brand. Los Angeles is burning. Elon Musk and Donald Trump are divided. People are confused. Is it gruesome Newsom that may lead the revolution? Is it time for us to look beyond human systems and human conversations? Is it possible that this could be the dawning advent where we awaken together? Joining me today is the producer of the show, beloved Jake Smith. All right, Jake.
We're here. We're doing it.
Have you seen that the comments are absolutely alive with people just looking for an enclave, a place to hide, a place to rest? Some people here simply for a look at take a good look at these because it's the last you'll see them, baby. It's the last time. There! Get in there! Feast your eyes on that! Feast your eyes, why don't you? This is it. It's time for us to awaken rapidly. You've been all right, Jake?
Been good. What a week, man. What a week we've had. You've done a little traveling.
I've been to Rome. I've been to the Eternal City. It's amazing there. I went to the place where Paul and Peter were banged up. The reason that it's called the Eternal City is, of course, because there's a lot of ancient artifacts there, but it's also a place that's outside of time. There on the edge, there in the shadow of the various ruins just down the hill from the Colosseum is a place where Peter and Paul were banged up. And you realise, man, if you're not in a dalliance with eternity, whether that's deep love or real virtue or kindness or sacrifice, you're just wasting your time here, because we all know how this ends, isn't it, Jake?
It's perspective, huh?
We've got to get too much fucking perspective, in the words of, well, in fact, let me know in the comments and chat if you know where that comes from. How would we be in this controversial time if we did not welcome the opinion of the Jew? the ever-present. They're from the Old Testament. You're right, mate.
Yeah, doing well, doing well.
Can I get that APAC money, please? Because, you know...
I'll run out. I'll run out because they had to take Greta Thunberg away.
Yeah, Greta Thunberg, she's out there. Did you see? I want to see that post where, like, of course, someone predictably says, look, it's Babylon. We try not to overuse Babylon B, our producer says, because they're so good, you could use them all the time. But Israel seizes Gaza-bound activist boat and detains Greta Thunberg. Here's how the Babylon B handles that. Hamas agrees to surrender if Europe will take Greta Thunberg back. Why don't we go? I want to go to Israel. Where's those people? Didn't Dave Rubin said he was going to take us to Israel? Adam Bowler said he was going to take us to Israel. One brief stint in an imperialist, trumped-up free speech war in the UK, and suddenly me offers to Israel go. I want to go to Israel. I want to go to Gaza. I consider it to be our duty to bring about global peace. What do you think about that, my chimp or fuck nugget, my friends in the Rumble Premium chat? What do you think, my beloveds over on locals like Rui BC Kingley? Do you want to see a week of shows right out of Israel? Let us know what you think. Is there a way for, in this time of division, for us to find common unity? We've already done a deep dive into the new LA riots, and we'll be posting something on that a little later. Is this the first symptom of inevitable decline? I've, of course, been in the United Kingdom, where the leader, Kier Starmer, remains extremely popular. He's like there's been a football match, right? Britain versus Andorra. Now, did you know that Andorra's a country, Jake? Do you know about that?
I've never heard of that.
Yeah,
cool.
We play them a lot and we don't sort of actually reliably beat them. Sometimes we lose. Here's the legacy media covering this. Stay with us if you're watching us on X or YouTube, wherever you're watching us. You've got to get yourself Rumble Premium. We do additional content every single week. You get early access, you get more videos, you get to see us in a lineup. Thank you, Tim Paul, for the raid. Thanks, Crowder, for the raid. I'm going on that Crowder. I've got to get me on that Crowder. Let's have a look at the legacy media reporting on Kier Starmer getting called. I mean, I'm going to have to use the word here. Forgive me, Father, for the profanity. This is 7,000 England fans calling Kier Starmer a cunt. Bearing in mind, in my country, that's not considered that rude.
Last night, an anatomical word, which I can't use on Sunday morning, which...
I can't use it. I can't say it. I can't look at it. I can't smell it. I can't touch it. I can't do a drawing of it. I can't build a cult to it. Do you know, as I know, that the word vagina is a Latin word that is derived from the word scabbard? So it's like it's like a sheath. Yeah. It's like a sheath, Jake. It's a form of sheath. Yeah. Whereas cunt is related to words like kin and kiln and words of warmth. So that Anglo-Saxon word, I would say, has more reverence in it. So there you go. I mean, I don't like to use foul language. In fact, I was just reading in scripture just recently. Was it in? I guess it's toward the. It might have been in Acts somewhere that there was some prohibition against profanity Jake that I encountered. So it's good not to speak foul language. I get it. But we've got to be able to do the news. Let's go back to because. What do you care about more? The use of profanity or mass media insanity? What do you care about more? Lack of free speech in the UK? Let me know in the comments and chat. The United Kingdom right now is a country where you can't speak freely. Dear Lucy Connolly, still banged up, serving a long sentence for an albeit literally incendiary post that was made in the immediate aftermath of the murder of those poor free school children. May God rest their eternal souls. She's, still in jail for saying, I don't care anymore. Someone should do something about that. Now, you might imagine that the Rumble Premium chat is alive with expletives now. People are saying pish flaps, beef curtains, he's a country. Yeah. Oh my God, the N-words flying out of there. There's a lot of stuff going on. The locals chat, it's a little bit more considered, isn't it? They're a bit more refined.
The N-word with the R on the end too. That's the harsh.
Yeah, what if that?
It's getting wild in the Rumble Premium chat.
Get over there. If you're watching this on X or YouTube, make the move. Get over there where people can say, well, they can say whatever they want. That's sort of how free speech works. Check out this wonderful moment where a Connecticut Republican quotes from a book, Me, Earl and the Dying Girl. I'm afraid to say it's got the P word in it. The P word is I'd say a sex word for vagina.
I feel like that one's almost worse sometimes. I don't know why.
The reason it's worse, what do you use in context? Sorry, Jake, that's a profound, that's a sort of a very rude conversation. I suppose for me, the P word, it's been a long time. I used to live a life where that kind of vocabulary was always on my lips, as it were, but now I'm a man of the Lord, and the P word, it's evocative. It's very evocative. Let's have a look. This is what happens when you start trying to control speech. Ruby C. Kinglet in the Rumble chat says, can we be raunchy without being depraved? I hope so. I hope so. Let's have a look at this. This is the moment that a Connecticut Republican congressperson quoted from the book Me, Earl and the Dying Girl, and there's the phrase, are you going to eat her P word? I don't know how that comes up. Is it in a children's book? How's that in a children's book?
That particular school and that book, Me and Earl and the Dying Girl, are you going to eat her pussy? Yeah.
Also, if it's a dying girl, what is it? How old is this girl? What is this book?
Yeah, Earl, I'm going to eat her pussy.
Madam?
Hey.
I would ask that if we not try to use that type of language in the chamber, let's try to keep some decorum. I know you were talking specific books, but if we could reframe those type of words differently, because there's also people and children watching this debate, I just don't want that language out there. So I will ask kindly if we could just use either a different word or
just maybe something else. I don't know, man. It's interesting, isn't it? Because we live in a profane time. Have you noticed this? There was a time where all things were sacred, when we understood that our relationships with one another were eternity brushing up against itself, that we have spirits, that we have souls. Once you accept that there's a divine nature to human beings, then everything falls into a different order. Suddenly people are afforded rights that may otherwise not have rights. Suddenly we have scripture to lean upon instead of our own understanding. Suddenly the idea of faith doesn't seem ridiculous, but a necessary reach into the unknown, but somehow knowable, and that which we can intuit. When we grant absolute power to ridiculous and limited folks, then what we end up in is a kind of bizarre and berserk dance. This is the Democrats. Let me know if you lost faith in the Democrats lately because of, I don't know, some of the sort of deception and ridiculousness that took place in the lead up to the last election. They've got a plan to win you back, honey, and this is how they're going to do it.
Peace up, A-Town. Yeah.
When are they going to stop doing little dances as their route back to political power?
With an Usher song, too. They're just going to bring it back, just try to stay relevant, but pick a song from a long time ago.
We believe that the answer could be staring us right in the face. It's Usher. The answer was right before us, on its knees, possibly as he was a Diddy partier. I don't think there's no claim that dear Usher was dragged into those wretched and slippery baby oil-ridden events. Listen, before we get into the main show, the Los Angeles riots, the new division between Elon and Trump, the courting of Elon Musk by Europe, you know, that shows you there's no permanent virtue, because everyone is pursuing expedience and mad strategy. Elon Musk and Donald Trump have a spat and suddenly Europe are courting him. We'll be looking at that. First though, would you just allow me, Isaac, if I try and go back to the Asset 2, the Sky News on 7,000 England fans calling Kier Starmer a C word, will it be where I left off on Asset 2? Could I press it? 2 if I press it? If I press it, will it be all right? If I press it like a P word, will it be? Right? I don't think I stopped it.
So go for it.
Just press 2.
Was chanted about the Prime Minister. It had 4 letters in it. Isn't it really early in your term of office for that level of unpopularity?
That there's an acceptance that at some point everyone's going to realise Kier Starmer is indeed a C word, but it's a bit early in your term of office for whole stadiums full of people to start singing Kier Starmer is a C word.
I'm not a football follower. I only watch when the Brighton and Hove Albion are playing, and I don't think the fans of Brighton would use such words against about Kier. It's football. It's football chanting. It's part of the. Is it not part of the spirit of the game?
Well, the England manager says.
Spirit of the game. It's really interesting and fascinating. I spent some time in the UK, and it's a divided country, like yours is too, I suppose, as evidenced by these riots. The UK is in serious and significant decline and disorientation. I don't think people even know where to direct their attention, let alone their optimism anymore. There's some interest in Nigel Farage and the potential for reform to reinvigorate Britain. There are people that are stalwarts of the political, not the political establishment, but the political realm. People like Jeremy Corbyn, who, even if you disagree with him on a variety of subjects, it's difficult to deny that he's a man of principle. Or someone like George Galloway, a career politician who's many times been on the right side of history. You know what I believe. We need new alliances between left and right. We need to galvanise the agricultural movement. In your country, it's pretty clear that a return to some kind of maximal power for the states seems to be a solution. In my country, the UK, we're receding into mad history at the moment. We're a country in chaos. I think there's going to be significant events there pretty quickly. Katy Perry's space trip was fake, says X21PED. I don't know, man. Was it? I can't tell. Have you got evidence for that claim? Let's finish off this stuff about Kier Starmer. We're going to be bringing you news on the LA riots and on Elon Musk and Trump. For now, though, I just want to understand why so many people are convinced that Kier Starmer is a C word.
Manager says he thinks it's pretty unacceptable, and even my team, which is pretty rough, I don't think we do that.
Right. Okay. Well.
The point is isn't this a disturbing signal for the government?
Actually, we have a Prime Minister that has taken really tough decisions when he came in. People have to understand that when you win an election, things don't go back to zero. You start off where the other lot left off. And we've had to do some
You start off at the level of a cunt. Then you've got to work your way to... I mean, look, this is it. How can you reason with it? You know what's behind it? Total despair. All of us can easily and quickly diagnose what's happening in California. There's a kind of cultural war playing out now on the streets in Los Angeles, California. That's what's happening there. With Elon Musk and Trump, you can't have two figures of such significant power alloyed together. That's two people that can run their own realms pretty successfully, trying to come together. Trump ultimately is a one-man show. He's probably delegated more successfully than most people would have thought possible, with the inclusion in the camp of the likes of Tulsi Gabbard and Vivek Ramaswamy, Bobby Kennedy, J.D. Vance. There are now significant figures in the political realm that many of whom, perhaps any of whom, could make a run in 2028 if it goes that way. But you can't perhaps have Elon Musk, a mercurial mind, a man who's likely capacities and abilities mean that he can't have anyone above him or adjacent to him. I wonder if you think we can learn things from the hierarchy of beasts. I wonder if you think we can learn things from the deep principles of the Christian. I wonder if you think it inevitable that we fall into decline and despair when we invest men like Elon Musk or even Donald Trump with the hopes and dreams of hundreds and millions of people, when one side of the conversation sees him as literally diabolical and the other side seems set to deify him. Man, even when you look at the life of someone like King David, a man after the Lord's own heart, you see how right in the midst and at the near height of his power, he's capable of just seeing someone on a balcony taking a shower and turning it all in, having people murdered, deception. Even the greatest among us are flawed and broken and aren't capable of carrying the weight of divine intention. We're coronated because there is such a thing as sublime power. We're flawed because we're human. We're never meant to be perfect. We're incapable of being perfect. The reason that 7,000 people are calling Kier Starmer a cunt is really, really plain. It's because Kier Starmer, I mean, you know, I don't know. I don't want to undermine him. I don't want to attack him because he's a human being, and I pray for him. Today, my scriptural reading was for us to pray for our leaders. Poor Uriah indeed, RCD, Pascal. Yeah, like, I find it hard to pray for people that I don't agree with. I find it hard to pray for people that I strongly believe to be corrupt and hypocritical. I really do, but all right, I'll try it now. I pray for Kier Starmer. I pray for him to lead with integrity. I pray in the United States that there's a resolution here when there's a mandate for national border patrolling, when there's a mandate for deportation. I pray that this can be undertaken compassionately. I pray that we can find peace in the fallen world. I'm on the wagon, baby. I ain't leaving the wagon. I'm beyond the wagon. This is someone saying, with the shades and everything, says Rick Stead. I hope Russell's not fallen off the wagon. I've never been more resolute about and more serious about my recovery and about my abstinence. I'm so clean and so clear, so schooled and distilled, so ready and so happy and in such sort of extraordinary bliss. Let's have a look at Kier Starmer, who, whether you like him or not, and let's face it, people don't like him, he's a person that is worthy of love, worthy of respect, condemned only by his own words. Look at this extraordinary compilation of Kier Starmer saying one thing and then it's near diametric opposite.
I want to pay tribute to Jeremy Corbyn, who's a friend as well as a colleague.
You wouldn't call Jeremy Corbyn a friend?
No.
No. He's not a friend. I want to have a quick age test now. You never know when you might go back in time to 1984 and find yourself snogging Mark Almond at the back of a bus stop. Now, sometimes that spit can have what's name in it. You never know what the mRNA technology of Anthony Fauci might release from a lab next. That's why I take a Q-tip, that guy's straight down what I call my popping hole, and out you come, stinkworms. You don't want none of that when you're kissing and cuddling with a Romanian arsonist.
Friend.
No. We have to make the case for freedom of movement. We don't want open borders. Freedom of movement has gone and it's not coming back.
Cutting off power, cutting off water. Well,
I think that Israel does have that right. I was not saying that Israel had the right to cut off water, food, fuel or medicine. Wounded by the media, the Sun in this city, are hurt for this city. And I certainly won't be giving any interviews to the Sun during the course of this campaign.
Did you write an article for some newspaper the other day? Surely that's not going to gain you any support across the Northwest.
Would you write for them again, Sir Kier?
I would do, yeah.
Can you go?
He's amazing. He's amazing, isn't he? I almost kind of like it. What we need from Kier Starmer is this. I'm really trying my best. I'm a broken human being. I don't know what to do. When you actually get into power, guess what you discover? That there are loads of deep state interests and global interests, and it's beyond me. It's beyond me as a human being. I'm broken and flawed like you. I don't know what to do with all this. This is too much power for one man. This is too much power for a government. We're going to have to radically revise the way we run countries. Hey, maybe in 2025, we have to look at what our systems of government are actually about. Hey, if you can have Airbnb and you can have Uber, does that not reveal that it's possible to aggregate power and distribute power differently? What are we going to do? What do we even believe in? What is the United Kingdom for anymore? Do we believe in it if we're flooding it with migration, if we don't have a centralized set of ideals and belief, if we're not capable of being kind and loving anymore? Maybe we should shut down the whole experiment. I'm out of my depth. I don't know what I'm doing. The only thing I can do is turn to an all-loving power that has forgiven me and that's willing to die for me. Let's pray that that's the answer for all of us. Actually, though, I don't believe in Jesus. I'm a devout Muslim. I've always been Muslim. I've been Muslim for 7 months now. And but before that, I did like to have a little go on the what's name, and that's why I don't need to worry about anything that's down there, ladies, because I give myself an AIDS test into the middle of next week.
Yeah.
Can you guarantee that under your leadership, the 2019 Labour commitments to nationalise water, energy, rail, the Royal Mail, they'll all be in Labour's next election manifesto?
I've made that commitment.
Will you nationalise the big 6 energy companies, yes or no?
No.
No, you will not.
By the Home Secretary was the wrong decision, and I think it was a rushed decision.
In 2019, you said stripping her of her British citizenship was the wrong decision. She's lost her appeal to regain it. Should she be allowed to appeal again? Should she be allowed back here in order to face justice in the UK?
I think the court decision yesterday is the right decision. The Labour Party in opposition needs to be the Labour Party in power, and a government doesn't go on picket lines. A government tries to resolve disputes. I'm really pleased to be here this morning supporting the staff at McDonald's who are on strike. Air quality, climate change is the issue of our time, and as the Extinction Rebellion protest showed us this week, the next generation are not going to forgive us if we don't take action. I think they're wrong. I think their action is wrong.
God bless this guy. He's trying his absolute best. Wherever you're watching us, YouTube or X, join us now on Rumble. We're going to be talking about Greta Thunberg and her trip to the Middle East. We're going to be talking, of course, about the LA riots and what they reveal. Is there a way back for Elon Musk and Donald Trump? Get on over here and speak freely. Central Scrutinizer, Phoenix Snake UK, My One Day's World Bell. President Trump needs to do what he needs to do. Trish McLeod. All of you, join the chat or get on over to Locals with Lily Farmgirl and True Seer and get Rumble Premium. We got so much more to discuss. We're so happy to be with you. Let me tell you, on Rumble Premium today, if you've got any questions for me about my time in the UK, I'll answer them. Let me know what you want to know, and we'll do our level best to answer all your queries, questions, and inquiries. And then, perhaps like Kier Starmer, reverse the whole thing. Here's a quick message from one of our partners. See you in a second. The system wants you weak. It pumps you full of bad information. Look at MSNBC today. What's Joe Scarborough saying? Sorry, I told you Joe Biden was sharp as a tack, when he was literally shitting in his own undershorts from purest cancer.
You can smell it.
We may know now that the only thing Joe Biden could be relied on for is arse cancer. Well, during that time, the mainstream media was telling us that he should be president.
I think he's better than he's ever been.
Now, I pray for a speedy recovery for Joe Biden and for all people suffering from cancer. But what you need is to be revved up and charged with super potent revolutionary coffee. This will clear your butt out quick, fast. This is a coffee that believes in revolution. If the founding fathers were here today, they'd be drinking this. Alexander Hamilton would be sipping on this stuff. Dear Thomas Jefferson, he'd be downing this. And as for Sam Adams, I reckon he'd be snorting hard lines of it. All of your founding fathers, all of those great warriors of America would be lining up, probably using slave labor to grow it. Let's be fair, they would probably be using slave labor. That was the fashion at the time. It was the fashion to grow these dirty little stink beans that are going to change your brain forever. And at the moment, 1775 Coffee have got a fantastic new deal. They're giving away free starter kits, free bags of coffee, 2 16 ounces of your choice, and the longevity brand, infused with CA-AKG, the clinically studied compound that actually helps reduce your biological age. When I started this, I was very nearly an elderly man. Now I'm one of those babies. Here I am, look at me. I've just had a couple of cups of it. Oh, I've never felt better. And the deal is simple. You pay the cost of 2 bags of coffee and $17.75 takes care of the rest. That includes the 3rd bag and the gear. This sounds like drugs. Matte black tumbler, a frother, gold scoop, reusable K-cup filter, tourniquet, works, Bang it straight into your... No, it's not. This is not drugs. This isn't some frothy nonsense with a motivational quote on the lid. It's a coffee that doesn't ask for permission. Always ask for permission. It doesn't identify as a latte. It doesn't come with an apology, a therapist, or a gluten-free muffin. It storms into your bloodstream like a truth bomb wearing boots, kicks down the doors of your brain, and shouts, "Get up! You've got shit to do! Stop being weak! Weakness is not cool!"
Bunch of slack-jawed around here. This stuff will make you a goddamn sexual tyrannosaurus. Just like me.
Go to 1775coffee.com/brand and get your free star kit and caffeinate your soul before someone in a boardroom pulls the plug. These products won't be available forever. It won't be long before the government steps in to stop you having fun. Get them while you can. 1775, baby. Stay free. In the Rumble chat, Vapor One says, interview Morrissey. Stefania 40. I would love to interview Morrissey again. I used to interview Morrissey quite a lot. I spent a lot of time with Morrissey. I love that man. Nothing can stop me loving Morrissey. Nothing. I've tried to stop loving him. I simply can't do it. Let's get Morrissey on. Tony, if you're watching, let's get Morrissey on. Morrissey would be an amazing guest. Let's have it. Stefania 42088. I watched you walk with the highest confidence through the media blitz, carved right through him, looking dashing like always. That's probably a reference to my appearance in court in the United Kingdom to clear my name. I've got to go there, clear the old name. Got to clear. I've got to clear it. Got to clear the old name. Walking through that paparazzi, man. That's when I feel the Lord most strongly. That's when I feel his presence, because justice is real. Truth is real. That's why I suppose when we're doing the prayer from Ephesians, we get that belt of truth on first, everything founded on the truth. The breastplate of righteousness, that is granted to us. The good news of peace gives me something to do. The sword of the Spirit has to be based on the holy word, otherwise I could end up saying all sorts of crazy stuff. And the flaming arrows of Satan, of the accuser, will be defended and backed right off by the shield. And then the helmet of salvation on the old bonce to control the thoughts, make sure that I don't get crazy and lost. Then I'm ready for the holy spiritual war. Man, look, something crazy occurred to me. Like, I've been listening to a lot of people that are taking like DMT. What was it? What I'm listening to now? I love this dude. I'd love him to come on the show as well. Hold on a sec. Let me see. Who is it? Come on, work. This is Sending Humans to Alien Worlds. Excuse me. This is, where's the description of this? Forgive me, guys. Gosh, I'm not very good at working the phone, given what I do for a living. The biochemical portal sending people to other worlds. That's it, right. So this is a Project Unity, Jay Anderson's channel. Do any of you know Jay Anderson's channel? It's a very good little channel. In this conversation, he's speaking to a professor who does deep DMT trips. Now they've worked out with DMT IV how to prolong the notoriously short hallucinogenic trips that DMT gives you. DMT only became popularized after I stopped taking drugs. So I've never taken DMT. Man, I would love to. And the reason I'd like to is because it seems like people that take DMT enter into a realm with some consistency in it. This interesting thing happened while I was listening to this dude on there. Where, Isaac, can you tell me without losing this, because I'm still listening to it, who the guest is? Like, get into the description. Is someone Gilmore, right? This guy is, I think, at Imperial College London. They found ways of prolonging DMT trips. So instead of it being like a 1 minute long thing, they're having DMT trips now that are like an hour long. And in there, they're having consistent experiences. One person now describes having a sort of a bejeweled console put in front of them by these elfin beings that occupy this other realm and say, look, you can operate this sort of bejeweled dashboard. Now, I'm experiencing increasingly through various Holy Spirit style techniques, happy Pentecost, everybody, the sense that what Christ is referring to sometimes is that through the Holy Spirit we will access eternity. That eternity is present just at the end of our arm, that we can feel it. Now, one of the things, the reason I want to give you this example is, like, any of you that have spent a lot of time around mentally ill people, and I have, will be struck by the consistency of some of the images. Let me know in the comments and chat if you've ever spoken to a mentally ill person. I'm like, you know, like someone who's like right on the edge, like I'm talking like street homeless, or if any of you are like 12-step people, you know, when people come into 12-step meetings that are right on the edge of what I might call tomorrow. And they say something like, I've on many occasions heard things like this. The government are tracking my thoughts. There's this machine that's floating above my head and it's monitoring me and it's controlling me. Now, what's really extraordinary is this person that was on there. What's the name of the guest that's on that, Jay Anderson?
Andrew Gallimore.
Dr. Andrew Gallimore says that one of the people that they've been doing these prolonged experiments on says that they've got an MRI on them, so they're sending them in a DMT state into this realm to see if they can consistently map some kind of archetypal topography. Like, do you meet consistently the same kind of beings? Do you have the same kind of experiences? And then already they're discovering that you do. So it's not like one day you go in there and it's a million Johnny Cashes dancing with their dicks out, and the next time you go in there and it's just a centipede talking to you. No, you go in there and you meet the same kind of beings and you have the same kind of encounters. That sort of suggests a sort of a consistent reality. That's pretty fascinating to me because, well, it suggests that there's a mythic realm that's extrasensory for us. These are the limitations of our instruments. If you had different instruments, you'd be able to detect a different reality. The beings that this guy who was like on this prolonged IV DMT experience was when he encountered the beings in there, he's got an MRI on. So like his brain activity is being tracked while he's going into this DMT experience. And the beings that he's encountering in there are going, what's the machine that's observing you and scanning you? What is the machine that's scanning you? So these beings are not only encountering an individual in this altered state, they're asking questions about the physical reality. When you start talking about angels and demons and beings that inhabit other realities, likely that these ethereal creatures are present with us even now and undetectable to most of us because we're webbed so potently on to what you might call the matrix. We're so overstimulated through fear and desire, we can't detect. And think how little time you spend in nature. How much time do you spend in nature? How often are you like in forests or swimming underwater, sensing the subtle entities that may be present? I believe in one God. I believe in Jesus Christ. I believe, too, in the presence of numerous entities and beings, some of which may be dark and demonic. That's precisely why I, in particular, need to surrender to Christ. I'm not strong enough to go out there where there's all sorts of pantheistic and pagan entities and diabolical intentions accessible to me. So the reason I mention that in the context of the consistency, you know, the cliche of the tinfoil hat. Mm-hmm. That's like, or the aluminum foil hat in your language. It's people going, they're trying to get inside my brainwaves. What is, by definition, a mentally ill person is someone that sort of like has gone off frequency now. And in my view, at least, they're potentially detecting a subtler yet real, true reality where things like entities scanning your consciousness might be real. Let me know what you think about that in the Rumble chat. Is everyone seeing Russell? Are we all having the same experience? I pray that we are. I pray that we are. And that's why I guess we sort of need a map in here. That's why we need guides in here. That's why we need an ultimate leader. That's why we need eternity. This is Ashella. Maybe demons in the DMT realm can only talk with those of us who can reach them. Mental illness is a gift to those who make friends with their demons. The shadow self is part of the wholeness, the light.
It's good stuff.
It's good stuff, man.
Kind of reminds me of the Screw Tape Letters, you know? C.S. Lewis, Wormwood. Like, there's got to be a intentional thought of the dark, of the demons, of the spiritual darkness to try to capture, to confuse, to change reality. It has to be intentional. I was listening to a podcast, they said that like Satan and darkness, it doesn't have unlimited resources, where God has unlimited resources. So they think strategically, they study the person, they see who's going to open the door for their influence. And I think somebody mentally ill, their reality changes. They're not connected to anything, and they just open that door to these spiritual darkness.
Man, we got to do, should we do, like, we do a watch along. Let me know what you thought of the Pizzagate thing that we put on a little while ago. I think we should do an MK Ultra watch along.
Oh, yeah.
Because I like those programs, man. Look, if these people are doing these DMT expeditions now, there's no way that the CIA haven't been conducting those experiments for a long while. When people are talking about glitching realities and Illuminati and occultist powers and reptilians, it's likely perhaps then that there are communions that are taking place with these Molochs, these Baals, these false gods, and that these communions have been taking place for a long while. The one absolute reality is the atemporal, aspatial, amaterial reality that the creator God has access to. The protean, ever-flowing, living water of life, accessible to him always, in all places, omniscient, omnipresent, omnipowerful. For us, we live in our one sort of fragment of reality. Let us approach it. I'm not playing with demons, guys. I'm not playing with demons. I'm not doing that stuff. Me, I'm abstinent. I'm abstinent. I can only take direct Holy Spirit. But I've been having some really interesting Holy Spirit experiences lately. You know, like this idea that there's a kind of dashboard to reality. I don't know. We'll work it out, man. It's risky to say stuff like this on the internet when I've not sort of properly worked it out yet. Let me know what you think in the comments and chat. If you're watching us on YouTube, click the link in the description because I'm getting crazy, baby. Oh, I like this. I like this new countdown. That is good stuff. Look at that. Look at that little wiggly ticket. Look at that wiggly ticket. Click the link in the description. Kier Starmer's going to love that wiggly ticket. We got so much to talk about. We got the LA riots. We got Elon and Trump's breakup. We've got the potential machine elves dabbling with reality just out of reach. Decision points. I can't speak for JC, but if he had a platform on Rumble, I'm pretty sure at minimum he would put some attention on the war crime of blocking aid to starving children. Let's talk about Israel and Palestine right now. Click that link. Get on over here. So, firstly, though, Elon Musk is being welcomed with open arms by the Europeans. Musk very